Hey guys, today we're going to talk about ratios and unit rates. First we'll start off with some definitions. For example, a ratio is something that compares two unlike quantities, such as price and length or distance and time. We'll talk about some more examples that we see in class. The ways that we can write a ratio is using the word to. So in this case we have 2 to 5. We can use a colon, so we have 2:5. We can use our division bar, so we have 2/5, which makes that a fraction. Or we can use 2 per 5. We can use that word 2. And there are a few other words that we can talk about that we can add to this list. And then finally, a unit rate, which is how much of the first quantity corresponds to only one of the second quantity. So we'll sort those out in just a minute. Let's look at some ratios. Okay, and this is just basic ratio writing, taking what is written there and just making a ratio out of it. So we're given 1 foot per hour, okay, and we're going to use our units as best as we can here. So we'll have 1 foot and then a colon per hour, or an hour. 3 miles for every 2 gallons. So we have 3 and our abbreviation for miles, MI, and that is over 2G, which is our abbreviation for gallons. So 3 miles over 2 gallons. 4 pounds for 3 people. We have 4 pounds per 3 people. 7 bananas in 1.5 hours. We have 7 and then the colon 1.5 hours. And then our final example is $15 per person and $15/person. And those are just some basic ratios. Now when we talk about unit rates, we want to know how much for just one, okay? So if someone runs 4 laps in 2 minutes, how many laps can they run in 1 minute? So here what we're going to do is we're going to do a little division. We're going to take the number of laps and divide that by the number of minutes that we have recorded. In this case it's going to be 4 divided by 2. And 4 divided by 2 we know is 2, so it is going to be 2 laps per minute. So if for the next example we have 8 gallons for $16, how many dollars is it for 1 gallon? So we'll take 16 and divide that by 8. Okay, and again we know that that is going to be 2, so it's going to be $2 per gallon. That's how much you would spend. And then say if we had 7 apples for 99 cents, how many cents is it per apple? Okay, so in this case we take 99 cents and divide that by 7, and we would get 14.1428, and there's a few other numbers. We're going to round that to the nearest hundredth because we're dealing with money, and that would be 14 cents per 1 apple. So just be careful when you're working with unit rates to look at what they are asking you to find the unit rate for. Sometimes we won't have such a nice, easy example like with the first one, 4 laps in 2 minutes. Maybe they'll say, well, how many minutes does it take that person to do 1 lap? So then the division is going to be a little different. It's going to be 2 divided by 4, which is going to get you 0.5 or 1/2. So just be aware of what they're asking for when you're finding unit rates. We will be spending a good deal of time on unit rates in class, so we will get some good practice in. And I will see you there. Oos!